You just knew that the media would have a tough time acknowledging another Trump triumph. Well, these killjoys actually found a way to criticize the president as he greeted 3 American hostages released from North Korea.
He has a complete incapacity for human empathy. You have 3 prisoners of the North Korean slave state, and it's about Donald Trump. It's about the ratings.
How soon will it be before we see these images turned around and, put out on social media by the president as some kind of, campaign message?
Donald Trump's a former reality show producer. This was a staged production meant for television, meant for the cameras.
Staged? Well, maybe Hallie Jackson is having amnesia. I mean, just 4 years ago, President Obama staged an elaborate Rose Garden photo op announcing the release of Army Private Bo Bergdahl, flanked by his parents. Remember, that was an odd deal to the parents. Never mind that Obama traded 5 terrorists in Gitmo for Bergdahl, who pled guilty in November to desertion and endangering his fellow troops. So let's discuss the double standard with Fox News host of Media Buzz, Howard Kurtz, along with Fox News contributor Leslie Marshall. Howie, let's go to you. I mean, right from the beginning, Obama, when he was nominated, he went to that Invesco Field speech in Denver. They brought in the big columns, the Roman columns. David Geffen was involved in producing the whole thing. I believe it was Geffen. I mean, he was really good at stage production. Here we have Trump at 3 in the morning going to greet the hostages, and everybody's having a meltdown over it.
Yeah, this is such a sad spin. I mean, the president went out there to give a hero's welcome to these 3 hostages, to make it about them. He didn't put the spotlight on himself. And, some in the media just have to kind of mock or minimize or denigrate it. So what should be a celebratory moment for the country, let's face it, becomes just another anti-Trump story. And oh, he didn't show enough empathy. He didn't bite his lower lip and feel their pain.
Feign a tear.
Yeah, same thing when he went to visit the hurricane victims. This is why people hate the press. It really is.
Leslie, here's a Yahoo headline after this release of the hostages. Trump cheapens North Korean hostage return with ratings obsession. The president made an offhand comment about how we're going to get ratings at 3 in the morning. That's just from Trump. He's just making he's making an offhand comment. He's not making about himself getting ratings. This compared to Bill Clinton in 2009. Here's some headlines from there. In Release of Journalists, both Clintons had key roles, August 4th, 2009. I think we have the full screens. Bill Clinton and journalists in emotional return to U.S., August 5th, 2009. When he got prisoners released from North Korea. The double standard, I mean, whether you're Republican or Democrat, at least kind of have a modicum of fairness. Your comment.
Well, I have to say, and I am a Democrat who loves to attack the president every chance I get, as you guys know. But this one, it should be about these 3 men released. It should not be about politics. And I have to say, I really didn't think, and I know lefties get mad at me for this, I'm just saying the truth here. I didn't think it was about the president. What bothered me was when he gave credit to Kim Jong-un. And that bothered me because these men were imprisoned. They were in the dark. They were not allowed to go outside. They were not given proper food or water or medical attention. That was the thing that bothered me the most. And the comment about the ratings, although it is Trump, we do hope, Laura, we just hope day after day that he will become a bit more presidential and forget the size of crowds or the ratings.
Leslie, there's a little inconsistency here. When President Trump was on Twitter attacking Little Rocket Man and all that, he was denounced as crazy, as bringing us to the brink of nuclear war. Yes, he's saying nice things about Kim now because he's going to meet him and try to negotiate. We'll see what happens, a nuclear disarmament. And I think that, a lot of things the president does are controversial. Withdrawing from the Iran nuclear deal, that's controversial. Bringing home American hostages, that's not controversial. Even some of the media try to nip it.
And I think nobody really thinks that the president believes that Kim Jong-un is a nice guy. I mean, he doesn't believe that. He says, Chuck Schumer and I are pals, or, maybe he's okay with Schumer every now and then, but they're not really pals. But this is part of the art of the deal for Trump, I think. And I think he knows that when he goes to Singapore on June 12th, this is going to be a dicey deal. North Korea, no one really trusts them. We've had a long history of their going back on their agreements. Just ask Madeleine Albright. And so I think he goes in with eyes wide open. I just think it's very, very important for all the Americans who are watching the show tonight to remember how the press treat Democrats when they have some good news for the country versus how they treat this president, when we've had multiple successes and yet the coverage is just not anywhere near balanced. Howie, before we let you go, Do you think the American people are kind of tuning out a lot of this, though, now, given that the numbers are going up for Trump?
Tuning what out?
Tuning out the bias. I mean, they're just treating the press like they're irrelevant.
I think that a lot of people, I mean, particularly Trump supporters, but others, have concluded that this president is never going to get a fair shake from the media. I call it Trump trauma, and we're seeing more evidence of it.
Thank you both.